Why can absolute value inequalities have no solution? Imagine trying to find a number that is less than a negative number. It sounds strange, right? That's because absolute value inequalities can sometimes have no solutions at all. Let's explore why that happens. First, think about what absolute value means. It is the distance a number is from zero on the number line. No matter what, that distance can never be negative. It is always zero or positive. For example, the absolute value of 3 is 3, and the absolute value of -3 is also 3. Now, when we work with absolute value inequalities, we often remove the bars by considering two cases. For example, if we have an inequality like x minus 2 less than 5, we split it into two parts, x minus 2 less than 5 and x minus 2 greater than -5. But this only works when the right side is a positive number. Here is where the problem starts. If the inequality asks for the absolute value to be less than a negative number, like x minus 3 less than -1, it cannot be true. That is because the absolute value of any number can never be less than a negative number. It is impossible. No matter what is, the distance from 0 cannot be less than -1. Let's look at some examples. If you see x plus 4 less than -2, you can immediately say no solution exists. The same goes for 2x minus 5 less than -1. These inequalities ask for the distance to be less than a negative number, which is impossible. On the other hand, if the inequality is of the form expression greater than a negative number, then the solution is all real numbers. Because the absolute value is always 0 or positive, it will always be greater than any negative number. For example, x minus 1 greater than -5 means every real number works. Another special case is when the absolute value is less than or equal to 0. That only happens when the expression inside the absolute value equals 0. So the solution is just the value that makes the inside 0. To sum up, the key is to check the number on the other side of the inequality. If it is negative and the inequality is less than or equal to, then there is no solution. If it is negative and the inequality is greater than or equal to, then all real numbers work. Knowing this helps you quickly identify when an absolute value inequality has no solution. It's a simple rule that saves time and avoids confusion. Remember, absolute value can never be less than a negative number, so any inequality asking for that is impossible to satisfy.